And agree that the real downfall of this government dates from the fact that they would not face down their own backbenchers and deal with the rocketing benefits bill. Frankly, the country is going broke, and this government has got to have the courage to deal with millions of people who are not contributing to society.
Well, my right honourable friend makes an extremely valid point, and I shall come to these matters shortly, because there are alternatives, of course, to what this government has decided to do. It was this government also that went on this reckless borrowing spree. We now have a situation where we have borrowed in this year £100 billion, that being the highest borrowing.
Before we dive into the footage, can I ask you for a quick favour? If you're enjoying this content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Believe it or not, over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing. It's completely free for you, but it means the world to us and helps the channel grow. So, did you click it? Awesome, thank you. Now let's get into the video.
Honourable gentleman, momentarily. Getting people off benefits and into work, something that's better for the economy, but equally for those who have mild mental health conditions, mild anxiety, mild depression, ADHD, a better outcome for the individuals concerned, rather than parking people on benefits as the party opposite is doing through time. Focusing on actual need rather than simply transfer payments. Focusing on medical diagnosis rather than self-assessments. And not paying benefits to non-UK citizens. Those are real savings that can be made. And in some cases, they are tough choices, absolutely. But these are decisions that the party opposite has done. I'll take the gentleman who stood first. Yeah.
Thank the Shadow Chancellor for giving way. He'll, of course, remember in his time as the Work and Pensions Minister, where he oversaw a £33 billion increase in the welfare budget. Yeah. So, of course, he's talking about cuts now. He's not talking about welfare cuts, because he had the opportunity to do that and failed to do so. He's talking about cuts to teachers, cuts to nurses, cuts to our armed services. Which of those three areas is he talking about cutting right now?
Okay, well, I'm glad the honourable gentleman has raised my tenure at DWP when I was Secretary of State. I was very clear that we needed to arrest the rising welfare bill, and we took through legislation. No, we did actually. We did arrest it. So we made changes to the work capability assessment, which the OBR scored at £5 billion worth of savings, and the OBR also scored the fact that there would be 450,000, almost 500,000 fewer people going on to those benefits as a consequence. We had already started a consultation on personal independence payments that I will come back to in a moment, and that was interrupted by the general election. The first thing that his party did when they came into office was to scrap all that, and then come forward with some ill-thought-through proposals which didn't survive contact with the government's own backbenchers. There are other areas where we can make savings, Madam Deputy Speaker. The size of the civil service. It's grown by 37% since 2016. We can cut it back by 25% and make about £8 billion worth of... the gentleman opposite should listen carefully to this, because if he is about to sit on those benches on the 26th of this month and listen to his Chancellor come up with some pretty...
Imagine the scene. The camera switches on, the kettle's boiling somewhere in the background, and I'm standing there with the expression of someone who's just discovered that their government has accidentally signed them up for 37 subscriptions they never asked for. And I say in my most dramatic British whisper, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your custard creams, because Westminster has once again delivered a performance so bewilderingly theatrical, Shakespeare himself would have thrown his quill across the room and taken up plumbing instead. And instantly, you're hooked. Because who doesn't want a political saga served with a side of dramatic biscuits? Now, today we're diving into a wild parliamentary showdown, the kind where MPs start quoting each other, quoting experts, quoting numbers, and somehow blaming events from 1,000 years ago for the price of a sausage roll. And right smack in the centre of this glorious chaos is that ever-delicate word, trust. Ah yes, trust, the political unicorn, the souffle that always collapses. the invisible friend politicians insist is still there even as it sprints for the hills. So the speech kicks off with this grand assertion that the government, Starmer's shiny, sensible, spreadsheet-loving government, has apparently fumbled this precious unicorn not once, not twice, but so many times that the poor creature has applied for asylum in Switzerland. There's talk of taxes appearing like uninvited relatives at Christmas, of promises made, promises broken, promises quietly adjusted at 3 a.m. and slipped under the doormat, hoping nobody notices. There's even the claim that manifesto pledges have been treated with the same durability as a Poundland umbrella in a Category 5 storm. And the delivery, absolutely marvellous. Our parliamentary storyteller practically leans forward like a gossiping auntie, saying, "Don't take my word for it, take the word of Paul Johnson." As though Paul Johnson has just descended from a glowing cloud holding stone tablets engraved with tax analysis. And apparently this analysis declares, in the politest, most academic way possible, that someone's manifesto has done a bit of a whoopsie. Then we get to the economy. Oh yes, the economy is always the star of these performances. According to the speech, unemployment has risen, hospitality has lost more staff than a badly run cruise ship, and the youngest workers, bless them, are apparently wandering around with job applications like Victorian orphans asking, "Please sir, may I have a pay slip?" And after painting this picture of utter financial apocalypse, the sort where everyone's clutching calculators like flotation devices, the Speaker announces that the Chancellor promised not to raise taxes again, not a penny more. Slate wiped clean, no more borrowing, no more raids on wallets. And of course, according to the speech, this lasted about as long as a biscuit in a toddler's hand. Then comes what I call the great blizzard of blame. In this wonderfully dramatic retelling, the Chancellor apparently blamed Brexit, blamed Donald Trump, blamed productivity forecasts, blamed the weather, blamed the tides, blamed the ghost of the Roman Empire. And I'm sitting there thinking, if the speech went on 5 minutes longer, someone would have blamed the Teletubbies. At one point, the Speaker literally jokes about her blaming the Battle of Hastings, which is brilliant because nothing screams modern economic analysis like accusing William the Conqueror of sabotaging interest rates. From there, the speech gallops into a whirlwind of numbers. Billions here, billions there. Borrowing going up, thresholds frozen. Inflation doing several backflips, and the whole thing sounding like the world's most stressful maths lesson. And the conclusion from all that? According to the Speaker, the government has basically been playing Jenga with the national finances while shouting, "It's fine, it's all under control," as the tower actively collapses. But wait, it gets even better. Because this is the part of the parliamentary tradition I absolutely adore. The interventions, MPs leaping